On Tuesday, around 3 p.m. local time, multiple explosions were heard in Doha, and dark plumes of smoke rose above the skyline. The unthinkable had happened. Their airspace was violated by an unprecedented Israeli strike, and Qatar was forced into a deadly dilemma. For decades, Qatar existed as a strategic chess piece in the Middle East, wielding influence with quiet calculation, exerting power through money, media, and diplomacy, while avoiding direct military conflict. But now, that quiet game has exploded into chaos. Israel's attack on Qatari territory has thrown the region into immediate crisis, demanding a response that could redraw borders or ignite a regional inferno. The roots of this crisis run deep. Qatar's complex position, straddling alliances with the West, the Gulf states, and support for Palestinian factions, has always been precarious. Israel's strike aimed to eliminate the Hamas negotiators after the deadly attack in Israel's city last week that killed 6 of its citizens. The brazen breach of sovereignty was a loud and clear message. No place, no matter how secure, was safe. Now, Doha faces an existential question: how to respond. Military retaliation seems a possibility, but fraught with peril given the vast power imbalance. Qatar's military is technologically advanced, but limited in scale compared to Israel's formidable forces. Yet, calculated military action could assert deterrence and preserve national pride. Here are 3 hypothetical military options Qatar might consider. Option 1. Precision air and missile strikes. Qatar could launch carefully calibrated airstrikes targeting Israeli military installations connected to the initial attack. Utilizing advanced drones and precision-guided missiles, Qatar's Air Force could attempt surgical strikes on Israeli bases near Gaza or southern Israel, suspected of launching or coordinating the assault. The goal: to send a strong message without escalating into full-scale war.
Qatar's missile batteries could launch salvos targeting communication hubs and radar installations, disrupting Israeli intelligence and complicating their command chain. Advanced electronic warfare support would shield Qatar's strike force from Israeli air defenses. However, this operation risks rapid Israeli retaliation. Israel's Iron Dome and Arrow missile defense systems may intercept many incoming projectiles, but cannot guarantee foolproof defense of all assets. The resulting exchange could spiral into a larger conflict, drawing Gulf neighbors and possibly Iran's proxies into the fray. Before we move forward, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to help the algorithm. Option 2. Cyber warfare and asymmetric operations. Unable to confront Israel face-to-face on conventional battlefields, Qatar might rely on asymmetric warfare, unleashing cyber attacks to infiltrate Israeli military networks, disrupt command and control systems, and degrade critical infrastructure like energy grids, communications, or transportation nodes. Coupled with covert special operations, Qatar could deploy proxies or allied factions, equipped with intelligence and weapons funneled through its channels, to carry out sabotage or targeted attacks inside Israeli-controlled areas of Gaza or the West Bank. Cyber warfare offers the advantage of plausible deniability and can inflict significant damage while avoiding an overt military clash. Qatar's elite cyber units would coordinate with regional partners for maximum impact and cover. The downside: Israel's cyber defense capabilities are highly sophisticated, and any exposed operations could escalate tensions uncontrollably. Moreover, proxy attacks could drag Qatar deeper into proxy wars with Iran-backed groups, complicating control and accountability. Option 3. Defensive posture with regional mobilization. The third option is a strategic defense combined with regional alliance building and mobilization.
Qatar could bolster its surface-to-air missile batteries, strengthen airfield defenses, and deploy rapid response units around critical infrastructure, signaling readiness to respond to further attacks. Simultaneously, Qatar could call on Gulf Cooperation Council partners, Saudi Arabia, UAE, Bahrain, to coordinate defensive postures and intelligence sharing, pressuring Israel politically and militarily on a broader regional stage. This united show of force may deter further Israeli strikes without initiating open conflict. This option emphasizes damage control and de-escalation, preserving Qatar's economic lifelines and Western support while signaling seriousness. Enhanced naval patrols in the Arabian Gulf, increased Patriot missile deployments, and air defense drills could showcase regional unity. However, this posture risks being seen as passive or weak by domestic factions demanding action, and there is always the danger that Israel miscalculates restraint for vulnerability, emboldening further attacks. The high-stakes balance. Behind closed doors in Doha, the emir's advisors deliberate. Every move is a gamble. Precision strikes could satisfy public demands for retaliation, but risk all-out war. Cyber warfare might degrade Israeli capabilities without bloodshed, but could spiral out of control. A defensive alliance approach shields Qatar economically and politically, but might ignite internal unrest and lose credibility on the Arab street. Meanwhile, sweeping media campaigns frame the narrative, while intense diplomacy seeks to engage Washington, Moscow, and Tehran in efforts to contain the crisis. Social media lights up with calls for resistance or peace, inflaming emotions across a diverse population. The region watches anxiously. Will Qatar's response reshape the Gulf's fragile alliance architecture? Will this spark a cascading conflict engulfing more states? Or will it cement Qatar as a resilient, strategic mediator? This is not just a clash of armies. It is a test of wills, strategy, and survival in a region always on the brink. What do you think Qatar will choose? One thing is for sure. It takes resolve to have any meaningful impact when a country's sovereignty is at risk. Having state-of-the-art defense equipment is of no use if you can't show your resolve and courage. Let us know in the comments of your opinion.